Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Check Me. I got my boy Trae with me. Trae, another Maryland Beltway kid. I'm gonna say the Beltway kid because we work and we're always around the Beltway. We grew up around the Beltway. But we got a huge list of things we want to talk about. From mainly around football. We're gonna keep it on the NFL playoffs today around football. But Trae, just introduce yourself, and then we'll jump right into it.
I'm Trae Gross. I ball. You're gonna get a little bit of everything from me. So let's go ahead.
A little bit of everything. That means nonsense, man. Look. Here's the thing. I like to say that I set the balance. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the balance. Trae has this Tom Brady nonsense he likes to spew out. He has this Patrick Mahomes nonsense he likes to spew out, and I like to set the balance on these things. Hey, but no, real talk, man.
Brady.
Hey, look, he's great. Don't be wrong, he's great, but he's not the GOAT.
Which one? Brady.
But, we'll get started. We start with the first round. So hey, look. So NFL first round matchups. We got quite a bit. What's the biggest thing that sticks out to you? What's the biggest matchup that sticks out to you the most as far as teams playing 1 through 7?
I'm gonna say I like Buffalo and Miami. That's gonna be a tough game. That's gonna be a real tough game. I don't believe that the Dolphins have Tua. I don't think they're going in with that game with Tua. So
I don't know. It would benefit. Do you think it would benefit them if they play Tua?
Yeah, it would benefit them a lot.
Yeah.
I think they're hurting without him. I think the Bills gonna continue to do what they do, but I like that matchup. Another one, I do like Jacksonville and San Diego. I like them too. I mean, the Chargers.
Yeah, I think that I will have to go with if Tua's back and if Tua's back and he's anything like himself, I like that matchup. I thought they played them well in Buffalo until it starts snowing. I think most teams can deal with the cold, but when it starts snowing, it's a whole different animal.
Especially for the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's what comes from Miami. But I mean, if they go in and they beat the Bills because Josh Allen returned
the only I can't say I don't think they should have a shootout with Buffalo because that's gonna be a game. They both have great weapons. I would say Miami will probably have to play more of a boring game than they usually want to because defensively I don't think they're better than Buffalo. I mean overall as a team I don't think they are. So it's gonna take a lot out of them.
I think with Tua, they're a better team. I think they're a better team with Tua. Without Tua, I can't say they're a better team. No. If I had to say, out of all the teams in the AFC who has the highest chance of winning in those first round matchups, it would be Jacksonville going to play LA.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chargers and Jacksonville. Is it what?
Surprising, if they clicking on all cylinders, if Trevor Lawrence comes out there and execute how he needs to, then they should be fine. And they run the ball.
Yeah, I don't think Trevor Lawrence has to be great for them to win. I mean, he's putting pretty much marginal numbers up. Doug, they got our old coach. They got Dougie P.
That's right.
So I think that Dougie P. I think the mastermind behind everything is Dougie P. And I think that throughout the season, it took a while for them for really getting nestled into like how they play. Mm-hmm. Getting that 2 running back system set up, receivers catching the ball, defense is playing out lights out. Yep. There's a player in secondary, Andre Cisco. Now Jenkins,
Cisco's a beast.
Cisco, bro, like
Cisco plays ball.
I started watching him mid-season, and I think when they played us, they played Baltimore. They played Baltimore, bro. Like he's tough. Like I mean, he comes up, he's great on run support. He's great in coverage.
Great tackler.
He's a smart player, and he's been making plays. Him and Jenkins have been making plays.
Rayshawn Jenkins is a player that we have to talk about. He is special. Rayshawn was on the back end with the Chargers a few years ago, he didn't get a lot of credit. It's a lot going on in the Chargers. They have a lot of great players, so he
Yeah,
didn't.
they had Hayward at the time. They had they had Hayward. They had what was the other corner that they had?
They had
Uh,
Hayward.
who was the other guy on the other side? They had somebody else, but I know that they were like deep at corner.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember seeing seeing his name out there, but not actually him out there. But I remember seeing his name out there,
Yep.
bro. But no, it's crazy to me because their secondary is tough.
Yep. And they got a dude named Campbell. I don't know his first. Tashawn Campbell, number 30.
That's why Campbell, yeah.
He's a beast.
But look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You have two quarterbacks, right? I think second and third year quarterbacks who are supposed to be the guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are supposed to be the guys. You have them competing with each other, and I think it's gonna be whoever comes out of it. Now, here's how it works. The Kansas City Chiefs have a first round bye, so whoever is the lowest seed, right? So Chargers are a 5 seed. They beat Jacksonville, right? And say Cincinnati beats Baltimore and Buffalo. Los Angeles will play Kansas City. Kansas City plays whoever lowest seed. So Kansas City could easily play Jacksonville because they're the lowest seed, the 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
On the NFC side, here's what I want to happen. All right, as us being Philly fans.
Yep.
I don't really care about the Tampa Dallas game. I think that I think the Giants should beat Minnesota. Because here's the thing.
That's going to be a good thing.
If the Giants beat Minnesota or Seattle beats San Fran, we play either the Giants or the Seahawks.
Okay.
So we play the lowest seed. Now, say that San Francisco wins, Minnesota wins, and Tampa wins. We play your boy. So Tom Brady.
Yeah. And it's like this. We've been the best team. The Philadelphia Eagles has been the best team in the NFL since the season has started.
Yeah.
This is Tom Brady in the playoffs. I know you're a Tom Brady. You don't really.
Oh, no. I think he's good.
Tom Brady is different in the playoffs.
Right.
And,
part of me says, hey, look, I don't want to play a Bucks team in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
But I want to play a Bucks team because I want us to beat the best.
Mm-hmm.
It goes along with the story. It goes along with the narrative. So, I want us to play them.
So who don't you want to see?
If I had to say one team I don't want to see, probably that 5-4 matchup. Dallas and Tampa. I don't want to see those two teams.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see them. Right? I want us to see them. I want to beat them. I want to see them. So build out and fall out. But we in the AFC, I think that Cincinnati plays Baltimore. I think that if Lamar Jackson's back, I've always said if Lamar Jackson's back and he's anything like Lamar Jackson, they're the best team. In football.
Even without the receivers.
I mean, look, they've given up like what? Other than the Cincinnati game, the last game of the season, when last game of the season, they've given up. Their defense has been playing lights out.
Yes, sir.
But Lamar Jackson changes the whole outlook of that game. And I've been preaching this quite a bit on my podcast. So check me is Lamar Jackson MCL. You know how injuries are. MCL injuries not injury you can come back with.
Mm-hmm.
Just come back from. Right? Like, do you think that Lamar Jackson is really hurt, or do you think he's just really holding out?
It could be either one. It could be either one because that man won the MVP on his second year, and the Ravens have yet to, show him signs that they even want to do that for him. It could be this, it could be that, but I'm not sure. But without Lamar, they're not winning.
Yeah. Sorry, Huntley's out with concussion. Anthony Brown, they're not the answer.
I like him.
I think that it's funny because I've been saying that Lamar Jackson's going to come back from the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna come back to the playoffs, and if he's anything like he is, I think that
I think if he does come back, this is his opportunity to do what he has to do. This is
right.
I'm not gonna say this is Lamar make or break year with the Ravens, but it kind of is. It is.
It is.
Everybody
I
knows
mean,
this.
yeah, it is. If he's on his last year's rookie contract, he wants 250 guaranteed. Especially like when you give Kyler Murray that money, when you give Deshaun Watson that money, and Lamar Jackson has played better than both of those two, and they both teams this year have been trash.
Hmm.
Um, like I don't see why you don't give Lamar that money, and you haven't done anything for him. Now, I think that he's only way he comes back if he's somewhat close to 100%.
Right.
And I think it's less of an audition. I don't think that he has to play extremely well and win um, for teams or the Baltimore Ravens
I
to
don't
pay
know.
him.
I think Lamar has to win.
I don't think he has to
Well,
because I
realistically
think
looking at it, he doesn't. But when it's just the outside fans or the people that really don't understand it, the politics that just come with it says Lamar has to win. It's so that since he's been in the league, he's probably had the highest his bar,
expectation.
yeah, expectations
Yeah,
for any player that has stepped in the league.
yeah.
So
I mean, I would say yes, because he wants MVP. His second year. He won MVP. Let's say second. It was a second or third,
might
second
been a
year.
second or third.
The expectation level is high. I think that he whatever team if he because he's not if he's still on Baltimore's roster next August, if he's still on Baltimore's roster next office
Yep.
August, he's sitting out all season.
Yeah. So
You know,
not to get off topic, how do you feel about Cliff Kingsbury getting fired from Arizona?
bro. I think Kyler Murray got him fired.
I think he did too.
I think
There's no way.
yeah, I think Cliff Kingsbury is working with the quarterback, and this is part of Chris Kingsbury's fault because Kyle Murray's. I had to say he's a schmuck, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not a leader. He's real
He's
snarky.
selfish.
He's real selfish, condescending, and he kind of gives off that demeanor from what I personally see in interviews and how he interacts with his players, his teammates. Now, this is something consistent with what the teammates have been saying,
Mhm.
but not only that, he doesn't throw well from the pocket. He turns the ball over a lot. He trusts his arm way too much in certain situations. The game is moving too fast for him when it comes to him really understanding defenses and coverages, he really hasn't done that. You can tell he has been watching film. And whenever I see a player who is known like gets a big contract like that and is known for passing, and I see most of their plays are made from are create play that plays that are off schedule and not plays made from the pocket. As a quarterback, I'm not paying that
And
much.
Kyler Murray
You
has
know,
all world talent. He has all world
so
talent.
Lamar Jackson, he can throw from the pocket. He can create from the pocket. He's a weapon no matter where you put him. And Lamar Jackson, he worked in the spray at Louisville,
I'm
and when he
so
dominated.
so so Lamar Kyler. Not with
Oh,
the
I mean,
not with the back end of it, not the extra stuff behind. I'm just talking on the field.
on the field, Lamar. I mean, here's the thing: if you got to ask yourself this question, if you put Lamar Jackson on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how many games does that team win this year?
I don't know. They
You have Mike Evans,
might be
Godwin,
undefeated.
right?
It might
Okay,
be
hear me
undefeated.
out. Hear me out. If you put Lamar on the Bengals, what?
Might be undefeated.
Here's what people don't understand. Joe Burrow's throwing the ball up to some of the best receivers, three number ones,
That's
right?
crazy. Well, I wouldn't say three
Imagine
number
teams
ones, but I would definitely say I was fairly.
Jamar Chase, and look before Boyd came before they came, Boyd was 1,000 yard receiver.
But boy, I mean, by default, he was really never a one. But I understand. Yeah.
Oh, got to add pop it up. Yeah, I mean, but I think you have three. I think you have two number ones, and then a previous number one, and a good number two receiver, and you have a running back. and you have tight ends.
Right.
Imagine trying to play man coverage with that team or putting a spy on Lamar Jackson and trying to stop them. You see,
And Joe
when you
Mixon.
have a talent, bro, like when you have a talent like Lamar Jackson, he's not going. He's not going to a team that already has weapons. He's going to a team that needs him to do everything, and he's doing everything. Like literally, the best receivers are on the like that. Like who was he throwing to? Porsche, Duvernay, Bateman's out. Like, but you understand the Baltimore Ravens had one of the best records when he went
I
down.
told one of my friends he liked the Ravens. He said we need Christian Kirk. I said you just picking up another Duvernay, another. You're picking up the same receiver.
Christian Kirk, man. And but look, let's move on, man. So, if you had to pick the best receiver this season, who would you pick?
Come on, man. You know I'm going Stephon Diggs, man, from the crib. He.
Over JJ? Over JJ?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Over Justin
You know what?
Jefferson.
Okay.
Over Justin Jefferson.
One thing that Stephon Diggs definitely did show this year that was him being able to make plays in crunch time. And man, like I part of me wants Stephon Diggs to do to not do well because he plays for Buffalo. But man, just watching him, like, bro,
Shout
he
out
is,
Stephon Diggs.
bro. Shout out Stephon Dog, bro, dog, Maryland kid. Like when you talk about like you can't play the guy in man,
Mm-hmm. You
he's so
can't.
bro, he's so.
You can't.
Bro, look, but here's the thing, bro. Even at University of Maryland, dog, like he knows how to find spots in the
Yes.
zone. Like he
Yes.
understands the defense
I
so
never seen a
well,
football
dog.
player
Like,
like that. I've never seen it. Like,
bro, I mean, I've seen players like that, but now he's master craft,
yeah, exactly.
right?
Master the
He,
craft.
he's master craft. When you talk about short routes, intermediate routes, mid routes, deep routes, bro, like he's unguardable. You have to either shade the defense over to a side.
So,
I think
oh,
I personally this year will put Justin Jefferson, but you're not wrong. You're
do you
not
feel
wrong with
like
Stephon Diggs.
who do you feel like won the trade, or do you feel like it's just even?
Um, I think both teams won the trade because Minnesota drafted well.
Yeah.
You know, Stephon Diggs. Okay, Stephon Diggs, even with Adam Thielen, was number one. Adam Thielen's not number one receiver, right? Adam Thielen works well with a number with when he has another one receiver. So people were hyping up Thielen,
Mhm.
and at the time, Minnesota Vikings were like, "Oh, we're good. We got Thielen. Thielen's booty." You know what I'm saying? So I think Stephon Diggs.
Thielen
I think
ain't
the Bills
booty,
won the trade.
but he
Huh?
definitely slight. He's very slight.
Who? Thielen?
You talking about Adam Thielen?
Yeah, he's booty.
He's slight. He's not booty. He's not booty. He's
Uh,
slight. He's very slight. But Adam Thielen is.
okay. Listen, Adam Thielen is a solid number 2.5
He's
receiver.
better than Boyd.
No, he's not. He's not better than
Oh,
Boyd.
okay.
No, he's not better than Boyd. I'm not. Bro. I'm not taking Thielen. Like, what did Thielen do this year?
I mean, it's number one in the building. Think about it. When Stephon Diggs,
Jamar. We just said Jamar Chase and T Higgins are two number ones,
okay, you're right. When
and he's still getting money.
that's off Cincinnati's offense. They know how to spread the ball. Minnesota seems to once they have one player, they have to target him the most or do this or do that. Like when Stephon Diggs was with Thielen, Thielen was their number one. Stephon Diggs wasn't getting the
No,
ball.
he
No,
wasn't.
I know it wasn't,
Stephon
but they was trying to make him that.
Stephon Diggs was getting double teamed. Stephon Diggs was getting bracketed. You can't. And here's the thing: with Gabe Davis, you can't just double team. You can't just double team Diggs now. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Gabe Davis, you got Josh
Mhm.
Allen. So now you're more likely to play zone and then try to beat this team or have a good front
Exactly.
four. But Josh Allen's going. I personally I will let Josh Allen's arm beat me. If I'm a team, I would say, hey, let your arm beat me. But and let's go to the next topic. The next topic though we got uh this goes. I want to go to the Thielen question. 3rd and 9. You're picking one receiver. Who are you picking? In NFL, third and nine. Who are you getting?
Can I pick two?
You got okay. Pick one, and then tell me why your number. What's your number two?
Stephon Diggs. This ain't no mystery. This ain't no mystery. I'm going Stephon over every receiver.
On third and nine, you going to you
Going
Stephon
Stephon. Watch
Diggs?
the tape.
Okay.
Maybe two. I go Tyreek Hill. I like Tyreek. I like Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill is consistent. He don't get credit for the hands that he really has. He catches everything. He's
Yeah.
explosive. You can't check him. You can't guard him. He finds a way to get open. He's great. Like them
If
two.
I like Tyreek Hill,
That's who you going third and nine?
I don't know. I like Stephon. I like Stephon as well too. I think there's two better options though.
Okay.
All right. One option, number one, I'm going Devonta Adams.
You up to something. You up to
Right.
something with him.
So Devonta at 39.
Yeah.
I need to get 9 yards. I'm going
You up
Devonta
to something
Adams.
with Devontae.
Now
Hey,
you're gonna
I
look
gotta give you
number
that one. I
two.
gotta give you that one.
Hey, look,
Devontae
but
different.
look, number two. If I had to choose number two, Devontae Smith.
Okay, I like it.
Bro, hey dog, if you watch, he was master class this year on third downs, dog. AJ was unreal. Like when it came down to it, Gardner Minshew and Jalen Hurts, when it came down to making a catch, literally it was
Yeah,
Smitty. And I tell people all the time, Smitty was number 9 in receiving yards this year.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's a number 2, getting less targets, has more receptions than
Well,
AJ, but
like you said, he's a number one with another number one.
he's right,
He's a
exactly. And it's just like people like I think Smitty. When people when we traded AJ, I was like great, but I was like, hey, look, Smitty's still number
Yeah,
one.
you definitely did. You definitely did.
Hey, so look, NFL MVP, who do you got?
NFL MVP.
Yeah.
You this ain't being biased. I'm going Jalen Hurts. I'm going Jalen Hurts, baby. I'm going Jalen
I'm
Hurts.
going Hurts too,
I'm going Jalen
bro.
Hurts. But you can't knock Mahomes. But I'm going Jalen Hurts because everything that Jalen Hurts has. Honestly, watching our games, if you watch all our games, he's been very patient. No matter what the score was, he been he been calm. Even when we was under duress, and even when it looked like we was gonna win, Jalen Hurts came out with the W in every game. He's
Yeah,
poised,
I'm,
everything.
yeah. Jalen Hurts found ways to win. Other you got to think Jalen Hurts has only lost one game this year as a starter, and that was against Washington. You know, Gardner Minshew came in, they lost. He finished the Bears game. You know, with a sprain AC joint, whatever shoulder, whatever it was. But when you talk about a game changing, like Jalen Hurts was a game changer for that team, for that team, and for our team, and like passing the ball, very efficient through the
I mean,
air. Made the right throws.
not to cut, not to cut you
And
off, but
yeah.
what what is your breakdown of the MVP? Because Pat Mahomes, you can't take him from that team even and say that they gonna be that great either. Because he's special.
Uh, I think if you take Pat Mahomes and you put any mid grade receiver, I mean mid grade quarterback in there, they make the
They made
playoffs.
the playoffs. Yeah.
If you, for example, if you take Baker and put Baker in Andy Reid's system, if you take Jared Goff and put Jared Goff in Andy Reid's system, right? When you have talent around you, where if same thing, I say Mahomes is a great quarterback, but I think he has the architecture behind him. He has the system behind him. He has a scheme behind him, and all this bit like is coming from a coach who has known success. You know, and I think that's where we often forget. Like, hey, he's very very good at what he does, but he also has talent around him. Now, I will say this: Jalen Hurts has talent around him, but we saw how valuable he was to that team. When he was there. So I think that um, yeah, I think Jalen Hurts is MVP. What he did, what Jalen Hurts done on the ground, what he did through the air, not in a lot of interceptions thrown. I think 5 interceptions this
Mm-hmm.
year. He has like 35 total touchdowns.
Jalen Hurts, man.
3,000
Jalen Hurts for the MVP.
Jalen
Jalen
Hurts,
Hurts.
man. So look, who's your underdog? So who's your underdog team in the playoffs? Who do you think this team can make waves in the playoffs?
Um, I like Jacksonville. I was gonna go Detroit, but they needed a lot of things yesterday. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Jacksonville. If they can stand up defensively and run the offense how they need to, I like Jacksonville.
Okay, I'm gonna say if Lamar Jackson's anything like he is, I say Baltimore. But if not, I don't know if it's even an underdog
Mm-hmm.
team because Tampa Bay.
Tampa, yeah. I don't even call them underdogs.
Yeah, so yeah, I stay Water division, so not really underdogs. I would say, yeah,
So not to get off topic, Chris Godwin or T Higgins?
T
T Higgins.
Higgins. Yeah, yeah, bro, that.
Man, that's disrespectful to Chris
I
Godwin,
mean,
bro.
like,
That's
you said
crazy to
what?
talk like, oh, T Higgins, like what?
I mean, don't get me wrong, Chris Godwin's
He's
tough,
tough.
but like, bro,
Yeah,
T
T
Higgins
living
at
like
Clemson
shout
was a
out to
game
T.
changer.
T living like that.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I remember Justin Ross and T Higgins in that national championship game a couple of years back with Clemson. Like T Higgins is a
Mm-hmm.
dog. Like when the Bengals drafted T Higgins, I was like, I was like, yo, they got to
Yeah,
steal.
they did. They
Like
did.
that was highway robbery. They got to
Yeah.
steal in the draft. I was like, yeah, they just let T Higgins go like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like I was like, man. But T Higgins, I mean, you got a 6'4", 6'5" receiver who can go get
Yeah.
the ball, who can
And
tell who's sharpening running the
I don't
route
know if you
tree.
remember,
Who
not to cut you off. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember Martavius Bryant from the Steelers?
Yep,
That's the vibe he gave me. But Martavius, he
he's
stayed
a
in stuff, so you know, messed up
yeah.
his
I mean, but
career.
but, but T Higgins is a lot wiser, a lot more polished receiver than
Yeah.
Martavius Bryant. I mean, Martavius Bryant
Yeah.
was tough, but T Higgins is a lot. Like I mean, he is a lot. I think he's had 1,000 yards since he's been every season he's been
Yeah.
in the
He
league.
was a dog.
He is like he's tough. There's not many receivers I would just say, hey, I'll take over T Higgins. I want to take T Higgins. Just take T Higgins. Anybody over T Higgins? I'm about to pull up his numbers
Mhm.
now. I pull up his numbers and let me see. Boy, making it hard for me. There it is. Jeez. Uh, yeah, since he's been in the NFL, his first year one, he had 900 yards, 6 TDs, 67 receptions. Last year, 1,000 yards, 74 receptions, 6 touchdowns. Right.
Right.
This year, 74 receptions, 1,029 yards, and 7 touchdowns with 74 receptions. So when you talk about somebody being consistent, you talk about somebody who can make plays. Who's splitting rep not reps but splitting um
Reps with another great receiver.
targets with 2 3 other guys, a tight end and a
Speaking
running
of
back who's getting.
Jamar Chase caliber,
Yeah, I mean, I like Jamal Chase. Um, I still think the thing is this: we really haven't seen. I feel like Lamar Chase is still raw as a receiver, and he's winning off of
yeah,
pure
that's
talent,
it. That's it.
right? And that's a
He just have a
scary
lot.
thing,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Right? When you think about like Jamar Chase evolution, I think of Steve Smith, right? A physical receiver. He's fat. He's very now. This Jamar Chase is better than Steve Smith, but a physical
Right.
receiver who imposes his will on defenders, who can go up and
Right.
get the ball. But really, all I see out of Jamar Chase really is a fade, a fade or a slant. I look for a little bit more route creativity. I look for him to be a little bit more
What Trae can do it.
experienced
He's
in the
very
zone.
capable to run any
Huh?
route.
Uh, yeah. I don't know. I don't think
Think
so.
so?
But I don't think he has to. I don't think he has to right now.
Yeah, right now he don't. He don't.
Right. And when he does run his routes, I don't think. I think that they're not as smooth, or it just he doesn't know them. He knows his route, but like they're not as smooth. They're not as smooth
Right.
as they could be. Right? He's not familiar with those routes. He's not familiar with that. Hey, look, here's your. I want you to run a 16 to 18 yard dig against his
I
cover
got
nine. You know,
two trivia questions for you. Two quick ones. Best receiver off the
yeah.
line.
Uh, Smitty or
Best
Adams,
route runner.
best route runner. I best route man, bro. Justin Jefferson, dog. I, I,
Okay.
I've never.
Respect. I see where it gets
Je-
confusing with route running.
Justin Jefferson, man. Here's the thing. Here's why I say best off the line, and I think it was when I played with Smitty. Defensive backs don't press
Mm-hmm.
anymore,
Yeah.
right? They'll do press bail, but they're not willing to
Yeah, they
gamble
don't
like
want to get
that because
embarrassed.
they're not their footwork, their punch, their technique is all off. So you rarely see DBs truly do a bump and run or play press coverage all game. You don't see it. Only one corner I think really truly does that, and they've got beat a couple of times. Is Jalen
Right.
Ramsey, but you really don't see. They'll do a press bail or they'll just
Mm-hmm.
a shade or cover you. When you get like a young receiver like Smitty, a small receiver, they want to press you, but Smitty doesn't hesitate off the line. He does not
Mm.
hesitate. So it's hard to get your
Yeah,
hands on
exactly.
him. And he's very good with his
Yep.
shoulder. He's very good with his feet. It's no hesitation. We're not playing patty cake. We're not doing footwork drills. He's one move and go. Um, and he has good routes too, but I think Josh Jefferson's a little
And
more
he
experienced.
doing it for the small
Devontae
receivers.
Adams,
Shout out to Smitty.
yeah, and then Devontae Adams, he's a lot more physical than we. You can't push him,
Yep.
right? He's gonna break your wrist.
Yep.
You try to do that. Why I say Justin Jefferson is a great route runner because when I look at Justin Jefferson in the zone and man coverage, he's so ahead of his time. When he's in the slot or he's at the X or the Y position, and he knows it's like maybe cover two or it's some type of quarters coverage. He knows the man he's typically playing for the most part, most of the time, may be either that inside safety, that strong safety. So he'll run his route off of his second guy rather than the first guy,
Right.
and he's very experienced. That his way he shifts his weight when he runs routes as well too. It's very undetectable,
Yeah.
and he rarely loses
It's a
speed when
lot
he
you can
changes
say
direction.
about Jefferson. If you really look at his game,
He
it's a
reminds you.
lot.
He reminds me of Jerry
He's
Rice.
slithery too, man. He like real slithery. He agile.
Right.
He's great
He,
with
he,
his
he
shoulders.
reminds you of Jerry
He's great
Rice.
with his hands.
He reminds you of Jerry
He's
Rice.
very strong. People don't know that. He's very strong.
He's like Jerry Rice. Now, the only reason I don't say Diggs is because Diggs takes up a lot. Like in to his short to some intermediate game, he wastes a lot of time at the line
Right.
trying to get
Right.
open, and where he'll give you if a quarterback's getting the ball out in 2 to 3 seconds, right? You can't be doing drills at the line.
Well, if we taking it there, if we saying quick game best receiver, gotta say Stephon. Gotta say Stephon. You can say it's at the line, but think about it. Think about it, Seth. Even when you bop at the line, the moment you coming out, the ball's coming or should be coming. So
Right. Then what are you seeing? You're seeing an inside linebacker. You're only getting 2, 3 yards. You're not getting downfield. I think Stephon Diggs has the capability to do one move and go, and then make your move at the top of the route. But don't get me wrong. I think he's one. I think he's one of the best route runners.
I see what you're saying. I think Jefferson is more so he gets down the field faster. He's longer. it's a lot easier. From his stride is longer. Everything is different.
Yeah. So, last question. Super Bowl MVP. Who you got? I mean, Super Bowl. Who do you have?
Super Bowl.
Who do you see in the Super Bowl?
I see the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl, and I see the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. I see. I see Philly. Right. Unbiased. I see Philly. I think we're the best team.
Same thing.
And then I see if Baltimore has a healthy Lamar
No sir.
Jackson. I see. Listen,
No sir.
if he's healthy, bro. If he's healthy,
No sir, sir. No sir,
look.
sir.
But if Lamar Jackson isn't healthy, I think it's the Chiefs.
If Lamar Jackson not healthy,
Yeah, it's the Chiefs.
Lamar it's not gonna be Lamar. But I okay, the Chiefs is fine. I like the Chiefs. The Chiefs that's
Like the Chiefs.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see though, man. It's a lot of football going on. I'm happy that happy that Mike Tomlin even though the Pittsburgh didn't make it because I wanted them to make it. I'm happy that uh, Mike Tomlin got an opportunity to have another winning season. That was big for him and the boys. Being the only brother coach in the NFL. So, but look, hey, look, I appreciate you hopping on, man. Definitely gonna do this again.
Sure.
Probably next week when we talk more football. Um, but yeah, stay up, and yeah, we'll see what happens this week,
I
man.
appreciate you, big dog.
No problem, RJ.